All right. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side of the map, up one game, it is Gerald. And on the other side of the map with the blue tear in pieces, it is Nicoract. All right, so a little bit bigger map. Definitely takes longer to push across the map. Be interesting to see what these players have planned for us this time. I don't know, something, even though this is a larger map, something tells me that Nicoract's going to try and go for kind of another all-in play. I guess it kind of depends on what Gerald decides to do. Probe is poking around here a little bit. I guess I was just checking to see if there's like a proxy in his third base. I guess better safe than sorry. Scouting SCV is going out. Alright. Barracks should be finished by the time this probe gets here, so no real reason to pull a defensive SCV. A fairly standard opener out of both players, no shenanigans for this second game. I actually does decide to chase it. Oh, right. Just make sure that we can get the space down on time. Gerald actually doing a pretty good job delaying the space just a little bit. Probably about 90 minerals gathered. A little bit of a delay there. Actually recalls the probe. Is that worth it? Is recalling the probe actually worth it? I'm super curious. I know there's got to be somebody who's theory crafted this, and that's why the pro players do it. Reaper's going to be moving across the map. Alright, Reaper's actually probably going to get a full scout out here. Oh, there's actually a Reaper trap here. Ooh. Nice by Gerald. Managed to take out the Reaper. Pretty sure it did scout this Stargate, so Nicoract is going to know that Phoenix or Oracles are going to be on the plate once again. We actually have a 3-Rex build here. This is a fairly long map. Alright, Adept is going to be moving across the map now. It is going to be Phoenixes again. Quick W check, making sure that Nicoract is paying attention. Alright, so Gerald's probably not going to realize that this is going to be a 3-Rex push. Well, actually, with the number of Marines that are out, maybe. Here's a nice little thing, is that you can't tell how many Marines are actually in this bunker unless you count them going in. So as far as Gerald, no, this might be fairly standard. Alright, now we're going to see the 5 Marines pop out. One SCV does go down, not the biggest of deals. Now Gerald is going to see, oh, here come the Phoenixes, he is going to see that this is indeed a 3-Rex. Alright, the Depths are going to be trying to poke in here and harass again. Going to get in here, do a little bit more SCV damage. Have the Phoenixes trying to poke in, get something done. But Nicoract's doing a decent job of breaking up his Marines, making sure that everything is covered. Gerald's going to back up here for a moment. He actually did take some hull damage on that one Phoenix, which isn't great. So he's just going to go home with it. Now Nicoract is going, or I'm sorry, Gerald is grabbing a couple more gateways as well as his Robo Bay. Wait, where is it? Yeah. Grabbing that robo base. Going to try and play this a little bit more defensively. Third base can come later. Alright, Nicoract is going to be pushing across. The Phoenixes can't really engage this. At least not to my knowledge. Alright, Nicoract scanning for that third base, trying to see what Gerald is actually up to. Oh, that's... Alright, fine. Alright, Gerald, you do you. Alright, so Nicoract does not think that there's a third base on the way, so he's decided to back up with this, which I feel like is actually a very good call. Oh, is going to catch one at the Phoenix. He's going to remain on the map with these Marines. I imagine he's going to try and poke around and see if there's anything that can actually be done. Actually, are these going home? Looks like they're just going to go home for right now. Going to set up for a second push. I feel like that's a mature idea. I know if it was me, I would have just pushed with the Marines and probably have lost and then been cranky about it. Ooh, double expansion coming out of Gerald. I think Gerald realizes that he has Nicoract completely fooled right now. It's exciting stuff. More Phoenix is on the way. A little bit of an annoyance grabbing that one SCV, delaying the third base. Whoa, be careful with those medevacs. Alright, so Nicoract now has his first couple of medevacs out. He's breaking off a couple of Marines to make sure that this third base will go up. The rest of the units are going to be moving across the map to try and get some damage done. Second Colossus coming out now. Thermal Lance isn't even close to done. So these might be a little bit of a liability. Not nearly as powerful without Thermal Lance. Oh, a charge is also has not even started. Oh, nice force fields though, and it looks like Nicoract might be pushed back here. This is still a scary Protoss army, and with the force fields, it could force Nicoract into a really nasty scenario. At worst, or I guess at best for Nicoract, it just blocks him out for a little while. This feels like a hell of a bluff from Gerald right now. All right. Oh, actually, yeah, Nicoract is splitting up his units. I feel like this is actually a fantastic idea. Just going to be hitting 2 locations at once, and this Protoss army is still fairly small, so it's going to be very difficult for Gerald to actually get anything done here. He's going to position his units out here just to make sure that to keep Gerald honest. Oh, it looks like we might catch a... Oh, yeah, we're going to catch one Colossus. This is still a lot of units lost, though. I'm not sure about this. But that being said, Nicoract's going to force his way in. He's going to kind of get into this really tight area. Zealots are going to be taken out. Oh my god, is this going to finish or no? Oh, he's focusing down the wrong stuff. It looks like Thermal Lance is actually going to be able to finish. A couple of reinforcing units are going to come in here and clean the rest of this up. The other side of the map, though, it looks like Nicoract found another kind of like little weak location. Gerald is trying to move into get Nicoract out of his third base, which Nicoract thinks is the fourth. Nicoract bringing in a couple of reinforcing units. It looks like he... I feel like he overextended here a little bit, to be honest with you. He lost a lot of units. He did kill a decent amount of probes, though. Maybe it was worth it. 2-2 on the way. Ghost Academy. Fourth base? It doesn't look like we have a fourth base. We don't have a fourth base established yet, but I imagine that's going to be coming fairly soon here. We still have a standing army that's kind of poking around, trying to find any weaknesses of the Protoss, try and keep them at home. What? This is actually kind of a small army from Gerald. Zealots are going to be able to push this back, but it's a lot of Marauders. He might be able to... Nope. Yeah, Nicoract is going to have to move back here. The rest of the army actually does come and reinforce, as well as the battery holding back. Where were there 5 probe kills? I guess a couple of Marauders managed to get in here. I missed that. Gerald's just busy trying to round out his army here a little bit. We have the Templar Archives on the way. We have the last Colossus finishing up. Nicoract, though, he is getting out some of those units that he really needs to be able to combat this army. Double Viking on the way. Ghosts are coming out. Like, this is going to get... it's going to get kind of spooky for Gerald to deal with. If Nicoract engages with him in just the right way... Ooh, actually, almost manages to take a Phoenix out. Gerald now going into Disruptor Tech. Do you have a handful of Zealots preparing for a run by on the 3rd base? Nicoract has not started that 4th base up yet, and it kind of concerns me. It feels like he's more all in than he really needs to be. 5th base is being established now for the Protoss player. Yeah, it looks like Nicoract's just going to go for a big push here. Gerald moving into position to prepare to engage this army. We'll have to see how Nicoract decides to control this. Really good EMPs coming out of Nicoract. Looks like we do have some pretty good focus fire coming out here as well. Shield battery is going to be popped, but it's not going to be enough. Gerald's going to have to back up here for just a second. A couple more shield batteries are going to finish up here. But these Vikings are just absolutely tearing apart these Colossi. Bio Army is pushing in hard. And looks like it cleaned up a lot of Gerald's army. Actually, most of Gerald's army. He does have like one disruptor that's going to be able to turn the tide of war, maybe. On the other side of the map, it looks like Nicoract is losing a lot of SCVs to this run, to a Zealot run by. That being said, well, actually both players are, their worker counts have been cut down quite a bit. But Nicoract has such a huge army advantage. Whiffs with the Disruptor. It looks like it's going to be a minute before that actually is able to do anything else. A couple of Zealots are going to try and push in, but unfortunately it looks like yeah, this is just too much Terran here. Takes out the Robo. GG's going to be called. It's not a worker day today, apparently.